Thank you, Rex, and thanks to all the council members and town staff and everyone joining us from their homes this evening. We're glad to be here and look forward to addressing and answering any questions related to proposed development at Long Pond. Before I get into the presentation, I'd like to introduce our Ocean Choice team here this evening who are joining me. Carrie Bonnell, VP Sustainability and Stakeholder Engagement. Carrie. Paula Kiley, Executive Assistant in Corporate Affairs. Cara Pike, Director of Communications and Marketing. All of whom are employees of Ocean Choice. We've also asked two of the engineers that are working on this project, Decker Colline as Group Lead in Coastal Engineering, an independent consulting firm, CBCL, and he provided the coastal modeling study, and Neil Hunt from AFN Engineering. He's the lead engineering firm for the development. So I got to, give me a second, I'll share the screen and move on to the presentation. Can you guys see this okay?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. So I'll just give you a little corporate overview of Ocean Choice to get started. We employ about 1,700 people from 300 communities around Newfoundland, producing 70 million pounds of seafood from 6 processing vessels and buying from 1,900 independent fishermen, exporting our product to 30 countries. We're family-owned, vertically integrated seafood company. So in addition from buying from independent fishermen, we also are a quota holder and we have our own fishing fleet, processing facilities, and our global sales and marketing network. The integration of our inshore and offshore business is critical for our long-term success and provides us a diversified business model. We've been one of the leaders in Canada in having fisheries certified, and we're working closely with MSC, and 90% of our seafood is currently certified sustainable or part of a robust fisheries improvement program. We have most recent acquisition is a new vessel, the Calvert, called from after our home community. And it's a 74-meter long, 3,800 tons vessel with 1,700 metric tons of cargo space. Started fishing this past June. Is employing 70 direct jobs for about 7 million in annual salaries and 30 million in economic spin-offs. It's a green class vessel designed with a low carbon footprint and the latest harvesting technology. Complete saves 2.8 million kilowatts of energy per year. Investing in the fishery of the future. We believe in the fishery in Newfoundland, and we're, excuse me, I got to move the screen here a little. We're committed to making investments today that will support a thriving fishery for generations to come. Over the past several years, Ocean Choice has continued to make investments in the fishery. Whoops, sorry guys. I think we skipped ahead. So a few of these investments, includes the vessel I just mentioned, developing new species and new technology for producing underutilized species such as sea cucumbers, and investing in the local fish plants, water jet technology in our Fortune plant. And we've been part of setting up an industrial chair at the Marine Institute to provide independent science, which is available to everyone. And we're members of the Ocean Supercluster. We try to work in various ways in the communities where we have our businesses. Won't get into all the details, but basically just some of the items listed there. So really what we're here to talk about and give an overview of the Long Pond Wharf and cold storage. Our goal is to create an economic hub in Long Pond to support the offshore fishing sector while being a good corporate citizen and neighbour. We're committed to working with business, residents, and the town council. The site is located in Long Pond, off Terminal Road. It's an existing commercial area. Its consideration is to centrally located place to offload and service our vessels. And Long Pond is certainly a reasonable location for that. It's the location of our site from its original proposal back in the summer. We've moved it to the southwest to allow for a 10-meter channel and to also allow for 55 meters distance between the existing commercial wharf and the proposed new development. This is a snapshot of placed up on a municipal map. I believe it's a municipal map. Somebody can correct me, I'm sure, if it's not accurate. But the landfill is about 1.7 hectares and a 90-meter long wharf, which would accommodate one vessel at a time. And it also provides for a laydown and parking area and a cold storage building, approximately 36,000 square feet. The total water lot transferred from Transport Canada to the Port Authority was 25 hectares. The plan is to develop 1.7 hectares of new land, and this was submitted that's what was submitted to the town. We have, when we went to the regulatory authorities, included potential for a phase 2 that includes an additional 0.8 hectares. And that would be the blue area shown here, and a second 90-meter long wharf. Let's tell you a little about the cold storage operation. As I mentioned, it supports our offshore frozen at sea vessels. The current capacity in Newfoundland is well along to being used up. And we're making this investment to take care of our own fleet only and not to compete with existing cold storages. Our new vessel will be about 30% of the capacity. She's larger capacity than the other vessels. And the plan is to have around 2,400 pallet spaces to store about 3,200 metric tons of product. This is John Hearn's architect, the conceptualization of the building with one of our vessels parked at the wharf. It's a picture of offloading the same vessel, Pier 12 in St. John's this past summer. The product is stored in a frozen state in the vessel and is ready to be shipped to market. It's offloaded by forklift and on pallets. We have an average of 5 fishing vessels per month, and an average vessel is 2 to 3 days at port. Vessel landing and offloading, as well as the cold storage operation and shipping of product, will take place on the terminal road side of the development. And you'd expect to have 4 to 5 delivery trucks per vessel per turnaround for fueling, food, and supply. And then we have to change over and crew members. Speak a little bit about the regulatory process. We've been actively engaged in a rigorous federal, provincial, and municipal regulatory approval process. We will adhere to regulations process that is deemed necessary by all the appropriate authorities. The biggest one was Marine Fish Habitat Compensation Plan, which we have approval for, as well as Government of Newfoundland and Labrador permit to alter a body of water Government of Newfoundland and Labrador Environmental Assessment Determination, Environment and Climate Change Canada Assessment, and Transport Canada Navigable Waters and Protection, which we're currently still engaged in. On November 16th, we had submitted a land use impact report, which we've made publicly available. And the final approval for development is now at the town, Conception Bay. DFO has provided a letter and Fisheries Act authorization for impacts to fish habitat resulting from the construction of the proposed facility in Long Pond. Authorization is based on extensive discussions with DFO over the past couple of years. A habitat study was completed by Seaforce Diving in August 2018. A detailed marine fish habitat compensation plan is developed in cooperation with DFO. And really, it's pictured here on the bottom right is one example of a reef ball. The total of 43 reef balls will be placed in an area that's twice as large as the development area. The reef balls are world's leading designed artificial reef modules, and they're designed to mimic natural habitat. They're acknowledged by DFO as a remediation and compensation plan for fish habitat. There's over 6,000 projects worldwide have used similar reef ball technology, including other projects in Atlantic Canada. We're partnering with the Marine Institute researchers to create an outreach program that will see real-time observation and youth engagement. The land use impact report, take you through some of the highlights. The land use impact assessment report is a culmination of several years of discussion and planning, starting in 2013 with the Long Pond Harbour Authority. Expressions of interest were issued by the Harbour Authority for the development of the commercial side of the harbour in 2014 and again in 2017. Following this process in 2017, we re-engaged with the Long Pond Harbour Authority. In 2018, Ocean Choice presented its plan to the board of the Long Pond Harbour Authority, as well as the council. In 2018, the Long Pond Harbour Authority sold the water lot to Ocean Choice. In July of this year, Ocean Choice received approval in principle, conditional on the submission of a land use impact assessment report. Herein, I'll just call it the report. At the time, there was a draft terms of reference released by the town. The town, based on feedback received via public postings, revised the terms of reference and updated on October 5th. The town further accepted comments on the revised draft terms of reference from public, which was used to finalize the TOR, which was released to Ocean Choice on November 4th. Now, we understand the importance of maintaining access for boaters who are currently using the area for recreational purposes. As part of our proposed development, we'll create a new clearly marked channel along the eastern edge of the property. The new channel will be as deep as the existing path used by boaters. The water depths of approximately 1.2 meters, and the channel will be 100 feet wide. It says meters there, but that should be 30 meters, sorry, or 100 feet. Typo. So I'm getting more into the coastal modeling report. The key findings: wave height increases with sea level rise are negligible to low throughout the Long Pond Harbour Basin for the 2100 time horizon. Wave model analysis determined that wave conditions at the entry to the harbour will remain unchanged as a result of Ocean Choice's development, therefore keeping navigation conditions between the two existing breakwaters identical to those experienced today. The wave energy is significantly reduced to the south of the development due to shadowing effect of the new land, and this will have a positive effect of protecting the shoreline of the basin south of the development. Potential wave height increases around the harbour are negligible to within acceptable international standards. The current velocities and associated navigation conditions in the channel north of Sunset Key Marina and at the entrance of the Long Pond Harbour remain unchanged as a result of the development. At the dock of the existing marine terminal, the currents are projected to be slightly lower. The currents on the east side of the development will be slightly higher, but again, a very low range, 0.1 to 0.2 of a knot. Depth average discharge and velocity magnitudes remain unchanged near Conway's Brook and Sobey stream outlets. Sediment change within Long Pond would remain relatively unchanged as a result of the ocean choice development compared to existing conditions. The lack of wave-driven sediment transport and low-energy tidal-driven sediment dynamics results in a relatively stable environment. The new ocean choice development does not significantly increase or alter the current velocities throughout the basin, and therefore sediment types and sediment accretion of the deposit pattern within the harbour are unlikely to be significantly modified as a result of the development. The conditions in the Long Pond Harbour Basin are not well suited to mass ice formation and subsequent ice jamming formation. The study noted that the presence of ice in Long Pond is very rare, and actual freeze-up of the harbour has not occurred in recent history. Furthermore, the type of ice that could form in the harbour is not likely to form an ice jam, primarily due to current flow. It is also important to note that the CPCL report also states that there will be little to no increase in currents, and the movement of sediments is unlikely. Therefore, there is no anticipated impact upon the shoreline. So just a little on construction. We're committed to putting in place safeguards to measure and minimize impacts to area residents and property owners, businesses during the construction phase of the development. Qualified and certified contractors will be used, and it will be mandated to follow regulations. Construction schedule will be determined after approval by the council, but the infill is estimated at 7 months and the cold storage construction 1 year. We wanted to address there's a discussion on mud wave. So-called mud wave is soft ocean bottom settlement, referred to as mud, will be controlled within the area of Ocean Choice's waterlot. The infill will start with the access road and will move around the perimeter of the property. Once the access road is complete, infilling will move to the wharf side. Infilling will make its way around the outside parameter. The material, the soft bottom material will be vertically displaced upwards through the void space in the rocks, as well as be moved south ahead of the infilling. Construction noise is a chart of, you can see, see here is the development, and there's just some references made to the noise levels during the noisiest part, dynamic compaction. And you can see that if you come back to the purple area here, we're getting back to about 63 decibels. And that is, if you look at the decibel chart over here, it's about as loud as a dishwasher, as an example. But there's other examples here. Won't take you through all of them. Public consultation and feedback. In light of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and restrictions associated with public gatherings, Ocean Choice have put in place alternative measures for the public with the ability to ask questions and engage in the development. Over 3 months of engagement meetings since August, we have held one-on-one meetings with many concerned citizens and groups. We've had a direct mailer to over 300 households in the area. We have been answering questions through social media. We developed a landing page on our website, and we've also participated in media interviews as required. Local benefits. It's a new and modern facility. It will increase the province's cold storage capacity while providing local employment and spin-off business opportunities in the area. It's a significant investment. It's approximately, or at least $15 million, approximately 30 to 40 new jobs. There's spin-off opportunities for supply and services. And, we also have crew that travel and work in the area. Generally, what happens when you establish a headquarters, the crew generally migrates around the port where the vessels are. And as local taxes, increase in storage capacity in Newfoundland, and we'll be certainly introducing modern technology. So that's it here, and I'll pass it back to you, Rex.